I think it's the first time that I have everything done in time, which makes no sense. But hi, welcome on in. How are you? How's everything? How's the mic? We have some changes today that is debatable. Debatable changes. We'll see if it works. It's too hot outside, so I have the AC on. Therefore, I can't hear myself. Mic is supposed to not pick up the AC, but we never know. So you tell me. You tell me how it goes. If it goes well, we're good. If it doesn't, we don't have a choice. So, it's gonna be fine. But I hope you're good. I hope the week was good. I hope everything is fine. We have some news. We have some things to talk about. Maybe specifics. Maybe specifics. But yeah, I think that will probably. I don't know how to say that in English. That's the thing. Result in create stuff. I don't know. It's really weird. We'll see. We will see if it works. That's the only thing that I can say. Yeah, we have some things to review on Twitter as always because the end of the week it's pretty good. Stoney, I have things for you specifically. Welcome on in. And yeah. yeah. We'll see. We'll see. You shouldn't. Not really. No, it should be fine. It should be fine. It should be okay. It should be okay. You know, I had a bit of a hard time sleeping last night because I turned on the AC yesterday because it was way too hot, and therefore the new noise during the entire night was kind of too much. And I woke up at like 1 a.m., 2, 3, 4:50, and then I didn't go back to sleep. So yeah, I'm kind of tired. I am kind of tired, and you can see that on my face. Sure, for sure. But yeah, no, I have I have stuff. I have stuff for you, Stony, specifically for reasons that I will explain later. But I kind of explain already, and and we will see. But before I do so, I kind of want to go through these. No, not really. That's not what happened. No, quite the opposite. This happened just 38 minutes ago. To be exact. I mean, I edited the thing that I'm gonna show you in a second. Potentially, I don't know. We'll see. And I ended the edits like basically 40 minutes ago. So yeah, that's it. That's the thing. That's the thing. You'll see. You'll see. You'll see. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine. So we have some things. The usual stuff. Also, again, I forgot this button. This button is useful. This, I saved it because it reminded me of what the block phone used to be. And none of you know what the block phone is, which makes sense. But I think it's 2 C's. I never know if it's 2 C's or 2 L's. And now I'm looking at it, I figure it's like 2 L's and 1 C. Right. Yeah. So the block phone, when it came out a long time ago, was a device that was supposed to reduce your usage of smartphones on a daily basis, and they came in this magnificent packaging that was like vacuum sealed as a style grade packages like this, and so that what reminded me of the same concept. It is kind of similar. It's something that I haven't seen happen often, I would say, but yeah, it's an interesting design concept on this one, or not concept, I don't know, but just it was linked to this thing, which is really good, and I wish it was still existing. It's not. Really sad because it was one of the good looking phones that was as minimalistic as you could make it, and it didn't have any distraction. You could still install your apps on the phone itself, but the main goal that they had was a black and white screen most of the times, and could turn the color back on the screen and basically have um, with a double tap in the back of your phone have like a wow color coming back for like Instagram and TikTok didn't exist at this time, but it was really good. It was really good. The main thing is the design and the core concept was really nice, and we liked it a lot. And they just died. It's really sad. They created like a launcher that was installable on any phone, Android phone that you wanted to have, and then they made the launcher paid. And then I gave up because, yeah, like if I buy the phone and I get the launcher, I get it. But if I just have a phone and I want to install a new launcher on Android, it's not a paid experience. It's usually like a free experience. So, you know that. Anyways, moving on. Next up, I had some of these things. This one was really, really cool of concept. I don't know how practical that would be, as basically they are thing like, is this useful? It's not that useful, but I think for like a live event, potentially could be really good to showcase that, oh yeah, there is like people joining and they all have accounts, whatever. This is a good presentation, I feel like. So if you had like stage one, and people are coming into stage one, it's really nice. However, not centered. I don't like it. Specifically when we are at like 181, it really look off center. Like I understand it's not like a monospace font, but nonetheless, tiny things to make things better would be appreciated. But that was pretty cool. Had some buttons. We had this thing that was breaking my brain. But it's fun. I I don't know how, when, who realized that this was an option for them, but the whole process is pretty impressive. And it flows in a way that is almost natural. So yeah, I don't know. It just broke my brain the first time. Um, that was something. This one was pretty interesting as well to create some sort of a new gen transition thing where you basically have agents that are kind of popular. Uh, the way that they are making it is really good. Like they basically add like 200 of blur on this one, and then 160 of blur on this one with a plus lighter transition, which gives you that pink transition in there, which is really nice. So good to know how to do it. Again, I don't remember a plus lighter is a basic CSS thing. I have no clue. I think it's not, but I'm unsure. To be tested. To be tested. This was fun, and that made me think about what I'm going to show you. Stone a bit, potentially, kind of, really, not really, a bit. I don't know. But it's a really interesting thing that they are just like, well, if you just give us like $1, that's enough for us. So debatable, debatable. Um, this one was interesting to me because this is the green that I use all the time, but also this is not bright to me. This is pastel, so we're going back to pastel again. But yeah, the naming convention is the only reason why I'm showing it today. It's just like it looks more gray than purple to me, but maybe that's just my screen. I don't know. I doubt it. I mean, it is violet, but yeah, not much more. That popped in. There is the Anthropic like Zero that dropped 90-minute masterclass on prompting. So that's interesting. I don't know if there is the link underneath. I haven't checked. And it is right there. Cool. Thank you. Someone that shared the right link. So, if that's interesting to anyone that is working with Anthropic and AI and code and all that, maybe these are useful. Nonetheless, it's there. It could be thing. Would be good to learn from the people that are creating the AI models themselves rather than just emptying stuff. Next up, we have like other things like these, which are really fun and cute, but that's about it. This one was fun and also basically what happened before without the AI saying, oh yeah, that's because it was a type error that was difficult to resolve. Which, I mean, I get it. But no, don't do that. Don't do that. But Thierry, or I don't know how to pronounce the name, has been popping on my feed a lot lately. Kind of the same thing as Saya, with a lot of Framer related widgets. I feel like some of the times one or the other inspired by the other one, and I don't know if it's a copy or something, or they had the exact same idea at the exact same time. But there is a common vibe, which means that if you like one and other, you can combine them to get something that is pretty much homogeneous and looking similar while just having like a good stream overlay overall. So this is pretty cute. I like these badges. These wafers are nice. And that's it. That is it. Here is a new thing that is coming from Balloon. Cat, hi, welcome on in. Which is interesting. Basically have reintroduced like a bit of a font system, and it's interesting. Volume is a good library for Webflow. So if you're using Webflow to create something, you would have the ability to use Volume to get remade component really quickly. It's really nice. But that's about it. That's all I had to say on this one. Green coming back? Maybe, I don't know. This one was fun. It's an interesting concept. I don't know if this is how they would see pop over in an article, but if that's the case, that is a very interesting thing, where potentially you would have like a link or something, and you click on it or over it or something, and it fades the text to focus your content exactly there. So, it's interesting. It's a nice look. So that's again same thing. Why I kind of saved it. This one is crazy. If you haven't heard of Cluely yet, you are not on the internet. But they are currently saying that they are hiring 50 interns for the summer. And want like a summer internship, meaning that they will basically have a month or 2 months of work in that company, and they are paying them $50 an hour. These points, like the average age of 21, the fact that they are all graduate or pre-graduate people, is not a positive in my view. It just gives me like don't go there type vibe, but I mean I get it. And yeah, we'll see. Apparently they have raised a ton of money in the first launch thingy. The initial thing in their video that has been like viral is the most incel video that I could find in my views. Their whole spiel, right? I mean, I can't. Yeah, this one. is basically the guy has like the AI glasses with clearly inside that gives him uh, intel on anything blind. So he's cheating on the first date to appear more appealing during the date, and at the end of the video, he didn't even get the date. He left. It, like there is a bit of an issue, but it made so much headlines, so I do understand it, but it's just it just makes no sense. So yeah, but they are apparently raising money and hiring people, and therefore paying them pretty well. So I'm pretty happy with that. That's the only thing that I'm happy about. But, these ones were pretty cool. It looks pretty similar to some of the icons that I've made, but also one of the reasons why I kind of kept this one, it is because it matched what Chris um, shared on his like basic, not basic, but like the app that is here. I said that the icons there would be good to have the fat icon, and the fat icon are kind of like this. So the difference with the regular icons is you can see like the edges are rounded in a way that is like subtle, but make them a bit more plumpy than regular straight icon. So these or that set specifically would be appreciated, I think, for that app. It makes a lot more sense, and it's really nice. Um, and the pink sway you, yes, probably. Don't know if can you not? Cybersec, hi, welcome on in. How are you? How's everything? They do have, if I remember, a full set of that, but you know, I think the chubby one is the reason why we like them most of the time. Like they are still really cool, even without the pink. They work. They make sense. We like them. Yeah, that for Chris specifically would be pretty good. I think. Have some issues in my point of view in terms of build. Like most icons, they are combining multiple shapes instead of having like just one at times. So that is a debatable point, but it is still a good set of icons. They have so many that don't understand why you would go for this one. But, yeah. Still pink, cool, chubby, nice. Anyways. I like this one specifically for this. Nothing else, just that click button is the reason why I liked it. I didn't watch the entire video. I just saw the fucking cursor orange with the lines, which again goes back to we are currently doing the full circle on the color scheme, and orange is the current theme. So kept that. This one was Dieter Ram's inspired navigation, which was interesting. And then this one, I kept it for the bottom section, which is the current trend of anything is basically a sheet that is going on top of something, and then you have buttons that the underneath of the app. And so I tried to do something like this. It is a trend. So yeah. Adam said something good, design related. What? So basically what he said was use a semi-transparent outline instead of a bottom edge to blend with the shadow when you're doing your shadow in your elements. And it is true. It's something that is recommended. It is not that understandable when you're looking at the image themselves, but basically what it means is that because we have this that is transparent, the bottom is a bit darker than top of that outline because it's a transparent based color. So yeah, have a good grilled cheese nap, I guess. Appreciate it. So that's a good tip for once from someone that is creating Tailwind. But good stuff. But yeah, it's a nice detail. It doesn't change much, but it just adds in the realism of how things would behave. Um, we have this, which the main reason why I clicked on it was for this page right here, like that view exactly, where Brett, Dan have been having a lot of interactions lately. Fonts is debatable. Um, and the thing that I'm seeing here that these four, I don't know Ayush enough to be able to say anything here. So that's why I'm kind of sad about it. But like these three specifically have been at the center of Twitter design drama for the past 4 years, 5 years. Um, so if that person is coming in the same array of people, I'm like, yeah, that's gonna be a bit of an issue again. But we'll see. I don't know them, so you know, details. That's the only thing. There's 25 seconds on that video. I haven't seen anything. I just kept hanged. This is interesting as well. They are saying Claude is the first model is used on Cursor, and this person specifically said like this is the real benchmark. I don't think I agree with that. I think since Claude 3.5, we know that it is better at code than the rest of the models. We are used to use Claude, and therefore we're just using it. And then when something happens and there is a new model, we just test it out, but then we go back to Claude anyways. That's I don't know if it's a benchmark for real, but it is something to take into consideration when you're trying things. But yet this one is the best for speed, and this one is the best for code. But it's a bit more creative than the rest, and it breaks most stuff. So yeah, just keep that in mind. That popped out, and finally launched the UI.live website. I have my account there. We'll see what goes in there. Now we don't have anything, so you know that. But it's really cool. It's a good looking website. It's supposed to be replacement for Dribble again. No, not really, but it kind of is. It's supposed to like basically create elements and share content that you're working on your profile to be discovered and have like a bit more visibility on the designs you're creating. So it is on paper really good, but I fear it's gonna end up the exact same that we have been seeing other design related tool. The only reason why I have a bit more faith on this one is because it is based or backed by UI8, and UI8 is not a small company anymore, so they have enough funding to sustain like a full website to support designers. But that is interesting. I want to see where it goes, but for now we just have like the website we just launched, and we'll see if it's good. So just keeping that SVG feathering. But that's different. I don't know how it works, SVG feathering, but it seems to work pretty well. Yeah, debatable. To test out, but this is like basically arrive stuff, so you know. It happens. It happens. So the fact that they have like these handles all the time makes sense, you know, all that. But other than that, about it. This one was fun. I don't know how it was created. I don't know if it's like a 3D model. I don't know if it's a Figma thing. If it's AI generated. I have no clue. It looks good. Knowing that it is Linear that has created that, and Linear has used 3D in the past, it might have been made in 3D. But nonetheless, it looks really nice. The texture is really clean. The grain in there is nice, and then the shiny is shiny, and we like the shiny stuff. So that's about it. This one is basically to dunk on this for many reasons. But this is a high precision X-ray boilermaker that is crafted from tungsten using advanced wire cutting tech, and they said that it is truly a masterpiece of engineering. This is the tech that I used when I was in school. We did that. And this was 2013. And we had the tech that they are talking about. Wire cutting tech is what I used. It's like, I think I talked about that before. I don't really know if I still have access to these. But in my pictures, I mean, not even 2013, if I am correct. This is gonna be prior to, so more likely there. So this was the shop that I was working at. I was most of the time working here, but here was our wire cutting tech. So this is like a full bath, I would say, of water with a wire that is coming in. It creates some of the most precise cuts without having to use one of the machines that we were working on. And yeah, that's the tech that I was using. And this is a picture that is coming from January 30, 2013. But the fact that they say advanced wire cutting technique or cutting tech feels kind of wrong to me. Mainly because I was using that before. But you know, it's been a while, so it's probably advanced compared to what I used to have, but nonetheless, still really cool. This is a tweet that I can like now also send anyone to check and look at. So, well, this is what I used to do. Not exactly, but kind of. So, yeah, cool stuff. Anyways, we've had like other micro interactions, micro transitions, and things that are really cool. That we kind of like, but so far not much. And then lastly, I think this one was kind of fun. This person said that the logo designer are dead again, and the thing that they're creating is kind of shit. And then that person said you can just get like a Figma file with app icon and then explore and see how the icons have been built, and then you can create your own. It's more interesting, you know, details. Details. And I think this one was a bit of a weird thing that I saw this morning. There's many things happening here. There is the fact that Amazon is rebranding. Why? I don't know, but why not? And the second fact is that it is apparently Studio Koto. If you don't know who that is, you haven't been on the internet for designers in a long time, which makes sense. But this studio seems to be getting branding deals for everyone. Every big company in the past 3 years have been redesigned by this studio. So I don't know what they are doing. I don't know who they are. I don't know if it's true work that they are doing. But it is impressive from a design point of view that they are able to land clients that big, which again, this is like a snowball effect for most of the designers where you land your first big clients, and because that big name is on your resume and your portfolio, then you can land a big client again. And then because you have two, The third one makes more sense, and so on, and then you can't really stop. You will not do smaller business, smaller clients. So yeah, but it's an interesting thing. I don't see much changes. Everything seems to be a bit more heavy, which is what I was advocating for the past like few years. That's good. But other than that, that's about it. This one was just fun. Like unwrapping the vinyl with the plastic sheet is pretty cute of a concept. I don't know how good it is or how easy it is to put in place, but yeah, it's a nice concept. Maybe not. Um, yeah, nothing on this one. And this one made me laugh as well because of the fact that the thing that you need to do in Rive to achieve this is basically what I did in 3 minutes in Spline 2D last week or on Monday. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. See, this is cute as well. It goes back to most of the current design trends are of redoing some physical stuff. Um, but yeah, that's about it. Contra has reached 1 million users, and that triggered something, Stony, that is mostly for you. We'll see. You'll see that in a second. And yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it for the review. There is most of the other things are just like simples. The biggest news that we have is this: if you are someone who used JSAP and that was paying before, it is now free. So anything JSAP related, anything that is from previous membership, anything that is the learning, the content, the whatever for animation, now accessible for free, because basically Webflow said that now that they have acquired it, they could release it for free for everyone. But that's a very, very cool thing for devs and designers. Um, this is one of the biggest news that I've seen in the past few days, and yeah, it is impressive to see that some companies still take the time to make things free when they can. So yeah, good news. JSAP free is really nice. Anyways, Tony, I got something for you in a way that is not the most practical ever, but yeah. Last stream, I said that I needed to think about something a bit more, and I did. And so I have, because I've been on presentation mode for the past week, basically, I have a presentation to show you some of the research that I made for the decremental pricing model that I kind of highlighted on Wednesday. So I went through like basically going through the research of what exists already, because that exists. It's something that is non-common but still pretty good. But with the twist that I added, like there is a bit more stuff around it that is interesting. This is like a very, very basic presentation. So you have slides to help you visual stuff, and you will not understand anything visual because all of these images are AI generated by Figma itself, but it doesn't make a lot of sense. But the thing is, from what I've seen so far, the streaming services are more expensive than they used to be. Use it on the content that they are paying for, like basically streaming, and the media can disappear every time, anytime, whenever, without any notice. So this is some of the point that you have made since the beginning. You want something to let the users basically own their own media. So I went through like the research of what is the current state of things and found that potential a hybrid model that would be like a self-hosted personal free model with a catalog that you would have with like the licensing would be pretty appreciated. Um, and then adding like the drop shipping to circle back the fucking legality of stuff uh, could be a good option. So I did some research on that, specifically where I put the biggest point in the incremental pricing, which kind of helped. And so the whole system, at least for me for now, is something that would scale with a community-based pricing, something that actually, hi, welcome. Something that would basically have two tiers on the pricing. So the free tier, which is like you get the server and you can do whatever the fuck you want with it, right? So far, so good, nothing else. Um, but you also have the paid tier that would be giving you access to the streaming catalog of the content that you have, plus the media ownership as well, but not entirely like tied to it. The media ownership is to me like a more of a store than anything else. But yeah, and we would have, at least from my point of view, we would have like a price that starts at $100 per month. There is a bit of a thinking behind it about that $100 specifically. It is expensive. It is expensive, but it makes sense. So with that, you start at $100, and then it is decremental per users. So when you reach 50 users, 50 active paying users at 100, you can decrease that by like 18%. So you end up at $80 per month for everyone. And then you reach and then you reach 100, and so we get our 69 right there on purpose. I was debating making like the 50 at 42 so that we have a 420 right here, but you know, debatable. But the goal is to reach at the end something that is at a lower price than most streaming platform have ever been, roughly. So the million users, like 1 million active users per month, would be giving us 750 per month. So that means 750 million per month. That's a lot of money. The goal with this and the way that I came up with these numbers specifically, and specifically like the 470 is looking at hosting, potential licensing deals, um, the pricing of other things for domain name securities, encryption, all of that to ensure that the cost of operation doesn't really pass something. But with that decremental with milestones makes basically everyone that is using the platform would be interested in um, growing the platform to get like a lower price. That the more people they talk about, the more people that buy in, the lower the price becomes. And so the good thing is that basically when you have 1,000 paying users, you're already making $37,000 euro per month, which is pretty impressive. And with that, you can scale the company a bit farther. Most of the thing that I've seen so far is that the user base and hosting and all that is not limited, but like a very, very much lower price um, in the lower tier of lower amount of users. So yeah, so even if like the individuals are paying less and less and less, the overall revenue per month is growing, and it counteracts basically the cost of execution. And so the main goal for me on this one is to have something that is a bit more strategic to showcase that this is a community-based pricing that benefits anyone that wants or is willing to be there from one and pay like $100 a month, which is a lot. I get that, like you know, 1,200 a year is expensive to have access to the content, but basically, if there is acquisition for free users really quickly, you can then have a buy-in that is kind of working in a more seamless way. So the transition and the upsell from free users to paid users could be really, really good, specifically if you have the search in the free tier that gives the user access to everything that you have as a catalog, and then sending them to a bit more. of an option of saying, well, if you want to access this today without having to download it illegally, you can have access to it with the subscription, like the regular things. So that overall thing was pretty nice. The research that I did was on the pricing of stuff. We currently have Netflix that is like $9 a month. Disney Plus that is $9 a month, and Plex that is $4.99. But basically, you have no content. And with you would have $7.50 with the content and the option to get the ownership if you buy like a DVD or something that is physical. So that's a, I think, pretty good thing. There would be just one pricing model, which is like free tier and paid tier. That's it. I don't think support the dev would be something. I don't think community and community plus would be something. It's just like, this is the price today. That's it. That's it. Support the dev is mostly donation. So that's something that can be inside of the app for the free tiers. But not like a recurring price, like buy me a coffee type of situation could be an option. Yeah, and so the goal for me is like an anti-capitalistic model, that instead of maximizing profit per users, we are basically maximizing benefits and not use case, but like features per users rather than the opposite. So you already have the software that is in there, so that's pretty cool. And then the thing that needs to happen quickly is licensing. So I looked a bit into it. It's a bit more complex. It is really region based, and that's annoying. But yeah, the acquisition and retainers is pretty good. The good thing here is this joined the revolution. I didn't want to say like have no mercy, because whatever. I mean, the no mercy is mostly here like having no mercy on the price because it's a price cut on everyone. But details. The main goal here, at least for me, is to ensure that in the landing page, and that's why I'm doing that today, and we are currently doing the landing page, ensuring that in there is like a clear statement and a clear explanation of what is currently happening and what would be the pricing models, showing that it is currently at $100 a month, which is expensive, but with a clear timeline and the clear like chop down cost of, if we reach 100 users, we'll get 18% off for everyone. If we reach 500 users, we get 18% off again, and so on. So that's the idea. That's the biggest concept. And then we have the last thing with the question, because I've been in fucking presentation mode for the past week, so that's what happened. But yeah, I did that earlier today, and I think it's a good idea. That's why the title is like this. I think it might be a great idea even. It's just I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. What do you mean? I'm doing it all wrong. But yeah, that's the. Oh yeah, no, I don't care. I'm not like a one of these. Like I could have done that if you wanted to, but that's useless. That is a worst case scenario type of situation. But yeah, I think it's based on research so far. Like, I think it's pretty good. There is like a bit more in the system thinking that I had in the decremental pricing, and in the beginning that I had like different values, different things here and there, but overall most of it is around here, so that's pretty good. But yeah, I think it works. I mean, the main point for me is basically this thing. If we can show the users and show them that, yeah, like you are entering the pricing model today, and we know it's more expensive than it would be, but the goal is to reach as many people as possible. Um, it is a bit of a pyramid scheme in a way, kinda, not really, but kinda. They don't get anything, you get everything, but the more people come in, the least they pay. So it's a bit of a, it kind of looks like it, I understand, but yeah, it's a good thing. The 1 million user 750. In the beginning, I wanted to go as low as under Plex, so 450. Um, Turns out that with 1 million user, you may have to get something like 4 mil of execution cost, with like bandwidth and hosting of the media catalog that you have, different servers and all that. And yeah, if you make like 450 per users with 1 million users, you are making like 4 mil, 500. And if your cost of execution is like 4.8, that's yeah, that's no good. So if Flex is going to $7, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. And again, going back to the potential revenue, like these, I think you would be fine with 100 paying users, right? On your own. I feel like this is going to be absolutely okay. From your point of view, this would be like 69 specifically, but yeah, it is extremely expensive. But yeah, that would be like the incentive for the users and the active users is really bringing new people in, um, because that would, yeah, basically just give you everything you need to have in no time. So yeah, that research was pretty fun. It is interesting to me because it is the executional system and how to think about it, what to showcase. So I feel like this is a good thing. However, I'm gonna go here for this one. Um, we can't really display this concept on the website until we know that we have a backlog of content that would be potentially accessible, and that backlog catalog is big enough to be interesting for some people to pay like $100 per month. So it could be a, a deal, like with the first 10 people basically that are paying $100 a month to get like early access, and then when you have access to the catalog, you can unlock it for them to stream. But there is like a lot of licensing issues and a lot of bandwidth problems, sustainability in terms of where the servers are, where the things are hosted, and so on. Other than that, that's about it. But yeah, like can't really showcase that. You can hint that there will be a decreasing pricing model uh, in the future, but can't really showcase it as it should be on heat. But yeah, it could be like one of the amounts aiming for 750. Yeah, potentials. I don't know. The only thing, or the other thing that I didn't really showcase in this specific chart is that if you are making, right, if you have a billion users that are currently paying, they will all pay 750, right? All of them are going to be at 750. If you have 999, they are still all in the $10 range. So until you reach the million, you have 500,000 users to gain. You are basically making 10 mil months, almost, like a bit less. But no, 1 mil months, which is pretty impressive so far. But you know, I mean, specifically at 9.99, it's almost 10 mil months. Financially speaking, I feel like the decremental could happen faster now that I'm looking at it a bit more closely. And I've done some math, not much because still a designer, that still is not my forte. But you know, as a concept, you could really have something that potentially even start at $50 a month and it just goes down up to $6 a month, with milestones that are a bit more spaced out. So you start at 50. At 50 users, you have at 42 and so on. The thing is, if you start at 50, you don't have the 69, which is really sad. You know, maybe start at 100, maybe start at 69. I don't know. But yeah, like that's the thing. That is the thing. But yeah, that's what I have for you today. I don't think we would have a 420. I think we would have a 42. Hey. But yeah, no, not a. I mean, 420 is going to be a bit complicated unless you make yourself like a quarter pricing. Yeah, I mean, 420 pennies would. I mean, you could still, again, like the decremental process in order to achieve like that number specifically is roughly 18%, like not exactly 18%, but it's like from here to here is 18%, here to here 18, and then we go back to I think 14 for this two, and then it goes to 10 and something, and you could like pass 1 million maybe to your second mil. Like if you reach 2 billion users, you can downgrade to like half at 420, like 420 pennies option. But yeah, you'd still need to think about the cost per users. So my initial thought was like 450 would be really good, because it is basically on par with the users, but it would imply that it break even territory, and that's not. I mean, it's good, but it's not great. But yeah, that's the thing. The other thing that I had to thought about, think about, which I haven't really explained in that presentation thingy, is that something could happen in terms of your user base decreasing at some point, which we never like it, but it could happen. And what could happen then? Like, what would be the concept? How would the price change based on user base fluctuation? In my opinion, there would need to be some grandfathering pricing system where anyone that gets like the lowest price at some point keeps that forever. And then if price needs to go back up, any new user will go with the newer price. And then when all the new user reach the thing to go down in decrement, everyone goes back to what grandfather had. And then if it still grows, it decrement again, everyone goes at the same thing. But it's just like ensuring that you don't then run at a very, very much big loss pricing. Otherwise, it's not like the app would just die. So there is a need for a sustained, like flat pricing, meaning that if someone reached a tier where they are like, oh, we reached the $10 tier, this fact the system is telling them since or until now we have decreased the prices, but starting next month is going to be more expensive. it goes against the philosophy of the anti-capitalistic thing. So for anyone that is there and it still has an active subscription, would be at the same price. And then if someone unsubscribe and then resubscribe, they would have the higher tier or higher price based on how much users have left and so on. That's the only thing that is a bit more complex. It's not really necessarily like getting multiple prices ranges. The only time when you would have like more than two would be if you are dropping users from one tier to another because like so many are getting out. But that feels kind of wrong, like specifically if you lose that many users, I mean, the app is probably dead. So, yeah, no good. No good. But yeah, that's the only thing that we have that is kind of a bit more complex to figure out, so that it's sustainable in the long term. Other than that, the thing seems to be pretty good. Buying off physical media seems to be a good workaround, legally speaking, to get the user to get the ability to download directly from the system. So it seems, it depends. I need to do a tad more research on this one. But it seems that if the user buy the physical, it's sent, like shipped to them, and you could instantly, because they have the receipt instantly, you could instantly allow them to access the thing that they have bought directly from the server because you have the digital version. It's part of the deal, basically. They have both at the same time. Again, this is like licensing thing for the catalog of content that is streamable is more complex than the physical. Like, as soon as you get the physical, the user can have access to a digital version. This is like in the law in Europe countries, yours specifically, mine as well. So if I buy a DVD on Amazon today, I can download it somewhere for the digital version, even if I haven't received the physical just yet, just because I have the receipt. So as long as I keep the physical, I would be good. So that's something which made me kind of laugh today because I saw like a TikTok about someone doing exactly that, kind of. And I said I will send it to Stony, but Stony doesn't use TikTok, so that's not going to work. You know, for reasons. Let me see if I can find it like that. You know, that would be a good users, a good example of a user for you. That one specifically. You know, someone with many things. And specifically because they have, like right here, because they have the physical copies already, finding access to the digital version, that is a bit of a more complex thing on our end. The thing is the providing of the physical through dropshipping give you the ability to provide the digital as well, because you kind of make a workaround to go through the legal process of, yeah, well, that user has access to this thing, and I'm not reselling something, I'm not distributing it, they have bought it physically, and I'm just providing it in streaming format, and that's it. And then basically it unlocks on their server, or whatever at some point or something. I don't know. It depends more for technical stuff. But for someone that already owned the media physically, I don't know if you have the rights to provide a digital copy. I don't think you do, because it's not through you that they have access to the physical copy. That's the bit of the thing that I'm debatable. But um, that's the thing. There's the thing, and because everyone is hosted on their own server with their own media and their own hardware, the streaming system can go down at some point, but they still have their content. Best of both worlds. So yeah, that research was pretty fun. Annoying in terms of numbers because I still can't do math. But yeah, but they would, in order to achieve the fact that the digital version would be hosted on their server, they would need to rip the thing. So I guess providing, again, I mean that's what I said on let's say providing the system, providing the tool to rip DVDs and Blu-rays and CDs and all the things. Maybe you already have on the streaming platform, and because you detect the DVD in question in the user drive bay is available in your catalog, and they are about to rip it, the ripping is taking an instant because it's just allowing them to the thing from your streaming platform to the server in the background. I can basically unlock something. I don't know. This is technical. I don't know. But yeah, interesting stuff. Potential. Why not? Research. But yeah, so that's a pretty good thing. I think I also thought about like social media and the impact of a post that would say we are reaching our milestone starting next month. We should drop the price. Like I feel like this is an incentive for anyone to like buy it. So far, again, hasn't been too long, but so far, I haven't seen any streaming platforms that were going to drop the price. I've seen all the streaming platforms that were going to up the price and add ads and reduce the quality and something. So if you are like a streaming platform that says we are currently dropping the price next month for everyone, that sounds so weird that I think people would probably have a look and potentially just subscribe. Yeah, that's an interesting thing. Again, the buy-in at the start is going to be complicated because $100 a month is a lot. But knowing that you could have 50 or 100 users in a month, that might mean that your first month is going to be at 100, your second month is going to be at 80, then your third month is going to be at 69, and it could go very, very fast. So, debatable, checkable, a lot of marketing to do. But going back to what I said, if you don't have a catalog of content, we can't have anything that is monetized just yet. We can hint the pricing model, but we can't say you can buy in right now. So that's the reason why this button is not available. There was also like a thinking of not self-hosting, but providing hosting for the users and that um, that is just a tad crazy in terms of pricing. The cost of getting basically a server with like 100 gigs per user that is paying for a specific tier. I mean, it's not impossible, but also it's not the best. So yeah, um, yeah, you need to have like a potentially like a minimal catalog. I think the initial take, and it's kind of bad, but I get it. The initial take is public domain catalog in the beginning, like something that says, here are the movie that we have access to. You all have access to these. It is in the public domain. It is accessible. It can be hosted. It is free of access, free of streaming, free of accessing for anyone because it's public domain. Um, Therefore, that's the catalog that you have in the beginning, and then you pay to get access to more that will come in the future, and maybe there could be like a quest list for the first 100 users, people that are just requesting and saying, well, because I'm paying for that and I'm believing in the project and the concept and the things, I really want to have that specific type of movie, that specific TV shows available on the platform at some point because it's like my favorite or something. Um, and then you know where to start. The thing that I've seen is basically if you have the inventory in your store, dropshipping thing, as I said, to say I have Buffy the Vampire Hunter TV show collection, DVD box, whatever. This is like in the dropshipping option. It's costing 25 to 50 bucks. You can buy it, but therefore, because I own the physical media on as the owner of the company, I have it as a streaming platform as soon as you buy it. So it's in the server, and it's in the server for you if you buy the physical format. And um, yeah, that's the thing that could happen. It's a bit of a workaround as well, but it's a potential. It is weird. But yeah, I think the most important thing is going to look into licensing and location-based licensing, because again, this is like the regular thing. The licensing deal in Japan is not giving you the same option for content that I have in France, for example. You would have access to a graded deal in France to French stuff, which I wouldn't recommend. And Japan, you may have more drama, more anime, more stuff like this, but not necessarily like US-based movie in their licensing. So, okay, so far for me and for the thinking that I've made, done, licensing is the biggest deal and a bit more complex. The 5 to pick from is why not? Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's an option to keep or get something really quickly. Like, no, your users are looking for these things specifically. I think it would be better to get like franchise in the beginning, things that are less expensive but still loved. So the first thing that comes to mind, and I don't like it, but still it's there, like Grey's Anatomy, Doctor House, Weed, like TV shows are going to be easier to get access to when they are not the biggest TV shows compared to movies. But yeah, the public domain is going to be your best bet in the beginning, I think, to get something. Uh, the only thing that I feel weird about is public domain is public domain, therefore it's free, and you're making users pay for it. So it's weird. I mean, they are paying for the access to public domain stuff and a better interface and a better experience, but the public domain, the debatable, debatable. But yeah, that's what I have for you for today in terms of pricing and research, which is pretty cool. I think the concept is pretty good. I think it could be a great idea, and it could, if done correctly with enough word of mouth, and enough initial buy-in, um, it could really make the growth explosive and kind of hockey stick situation, just because the more user we have, the expensive it is. And so the people that are the most hardcore, die-hard people that believe in the project would probably buy in at 100 at once. And if you have 50 of these, um, but you could have I don't want to say Kickstarter because it doesn't work, like a community-based platform where you get a subscription, like ish, at a pledge. And if you reach like 100 people that pledge to subscribe at $100, instead of they will pledge at 69. And instead, like, they basically win a bit of money, like the more you have that are pledged in. However, it would simply be like a rebate that you need to give them back. So basically, they pay 100 and for the bonds, and then they remain subscribed. And if they remain subscribed to like 3 months, you give them back the difference. That's a thing that also is necessary. Like, it's not in my ID. It's not gonna do that. It's gonna make sense. Maybe, I don't know. Like, it's not like this. Like, that's in my opinion. Again, that's not how it's supposed to work. Like, it's not like you are 100, then you go down to 82 or 80, then you go down to 69, and so on. It's mostly like you reach your milestone here, basically, until you have like, that's the milestone thingy. Then here's the milestone thingy. Then here's the milestone thingy. And basically what happened is that we reach the point, it's flagged, and as long as the 4 months pass and we don't lose users for that period of like buffer period, then everyone else is gonna pay less like a month later. If we reach like a specific number on this date and it's the 30th of the month, the next month is the same price, and then we celebrate that we have reached the milestone, and then we decrease the price on the next month and so on. But there is a bit of a need for a buffer to ensure that, you know, it's not, well, not working. But that's fun. It's the whole thinking session. And that would need a lot of marketing related content, a lot of word of mouth, social media posts, sadly, YouTuber collaboration type of situations. But it need at least like a bit of a base content. There's also again a niche problem, like the person that I showcased earlier on the TikTok, and you said that this is your target audience. Yes, it is. There might be like a specific type of users that are the one that are holding on to the physical media, that currently hold or some sort of an archetype of that target users that currently hold a very significant type of content that you could use as initial interest points. So you know that these users are currently holding all the Matrix, all the Star Wars, all the Lord of the Rings, all the Marvels, all of, all of these things, all of the franchises that exist, and therefore your licensing deal that you're trying to reach or get an agreement with, going to target these things first, and that might be the option. I don't know, but I do think that the workaround of you host the digital version, but it is available in the shop, and if the person buys it in the shop, it basically unlocks the digital. How you got the digital? I don't know. You're the owner of the shop, but it's not available. Like, it's not broadly available, meaning that you don't distribute it, and you just provide it as a home copy, as you call it in the Netherlands. So there, but it's not there, but it's there. You know, that's the thing. I think the hosting is going to be kind of complicated as well. Like the whole system of not knowing, but like knowing where things are and how much you host, all that. A bit more complex. And it needs, at least from my point of view, it needs like a bit more research. Well, 30 minutes of research for that pricey thing. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Like, opening a shop doesn't need like a lawyer, and providing physical copy of medias is probably going to be something that is cheaper over time, because most people are not really interested in the physicals just yet. And so if you find like a way to get access to a drop shipping for movies, like a service that does that by default, it'd be good. Yeah. I don't know if you need to lawyer up. I think you might need to just know what is legal to do. And again, opening a shop, dropshipping shop, that's legal. Opening a server providing software, That's legal. Providing a subscription-based model for the service that you're providing, that's legal. And then based on where you are, giving the ability for the users to buy from the shop and then get a quick access to the digital version because they are bought from the shop and therefore they own the physical media. I think that's legal as well, based off where you are. It has different impacts in different regions. Yeah. Yeah. But if it's a threat, and they don't do it, like I don't know, you can't really I mean, you can do it the other way around. You can make some money up front so that you have enough to fight back. What? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I don't think it's necessary. That's my only take. I don't think it's necessary, and I also don't think that it's like an issue that would pop in the life cycle of the product too early. Like that's the thing. Yeah, that's a different stuff. It is stated in Nintendo's bylaws that you don't have the rights to emulate stuff, and they don't emulate stuff on their own platforms themselves because they don't have the rights. Like Nintendo doesn't have the right to emulate Nintendo stuff, which is kind of crazy. But it is legal, technically speaking, to do so, and therefore, yes. But Nintendo is different. Japan is really different. Japan doesn't have like what is it called? The ownership laws or whatever. I forgot the names. But yeah, Japan is different. I think the only threat that you have is I don't think it's fair use. I think it's another one. But yeah, fair use is also one. But yeah, it's mostly like the studios. Like you need like a partnership with the studios. So again, technically speaking, if you get like a studio deal, something that is like a way of saying, well, I'm gonna provide content. That's a bit more complex, specifically now because like HBO exists, Disney Plus exists, Netflix exists. They all have their own streaming platforms, so getting like a deal to get the content there is going to cost a bit more. But you know, like it's I wouldn't say that it's worth trying, but it is worth trying. Why are you not working? Why? Oh, interesting. So music is just it. um, but yeah, no, I think the getting the deal for licensing, cover your ass for the back borrowing thing, in a way. You're on. Well, come on. How's you? How was the week? How's everything? Feel like you're not gonna land. I don't know why. Yeah, I turned on the AC already. I mean, you can't see it, but it's right there. I have the AC running at 18 degrees. Uh, there is news. Did you sign? Ah, good job. Congrats. Congrats. Is it good? Or do you not care? You just want to get out? Mm, I see. Oh. I'm such a non-confrontational person when it comes to salary negotiation, which I know that basically every bitch on the internet is telling you that you need to negotiate every time. And every time I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I mean that's what they are proposing right now. It's aligned with what we discussed. That's good. I'm gonna like do a bit of a review of my salary once I'm in the company and I'm proven to be valuable. But before that, I don't give a shit. But you know, I think did that happen? Is that what happened? This this what's that? Is that the reason? No. Well then how? Oh, this one is 1925 before tax per month, less than what you are currently at. Um, 20 bucks more today, and you don't like the company. 20 bucks less tomorrow, but you might like the company. I don't know. I would take the 20 bucks less tomorrow with a company that seems to be better than what you currently have. Um, Not negotiate. Um, but also, I mean, I get it. If you want to negotiate and trying to stretch like stuff and say, well, that's a very fair offer. I really want to work with you. I like the company. I like the conversation we've had, and um, based on all that, I just want to know if there is like a bit more budget and a bit more room in the budget to at least match that, or at least add stuff. Um, Not necessarily the money, but like having maybe I don't know, work from home days or other things. You know. Um, eh, but yeah. When you say the other company is like the company that you are in right now. Um, uh, Brilliant. Hi, welcome in. Thank you for chatting. How are Who are you? How did you find the stream? Welcome in. How did you was client? I don't. They don't have a choice. My client don't really have a choice. Um, I have my prices, and prices either work or they don't. If they don't, I'm referring them to someone else. If they do, I'm fine with it. But that's about it. I have strict prices. So there is no negotiation happening. Like it's just, are my pricing good for you? No? Cool. Here is someone else that can do it for the prices that you want. I don't need your business. basically. That's how I negotiate. And usually, what happens, or what I've seen in the past, is my prices are too high for a specific client. They tell me that they can have it way cheaper for somewhere else. I tell them to go there, and 3 weeks later, 2 months later, they come back to me and they pay the full price that they have planned, and that's you know that works. So yeah, um, but I have that ability because I've been working for so long. So that is to take into consideration as well. If you want to negotiate with clients, you can negotiate scope if you don't want to negotiate the prices, or you negotiate the prices based on the scope that they want. So basically, if you have uh, a scope-based pricing, you would say you are needing like a logo, which implies on my end, it implies like a branding, uh, a social media set, other things. I don't know. But you just wanted the logo. I really don't do that. My project things is this whole package. It costs that amount of money. Um, that's what I provide as a designer, freelancer, whatever. But yeah, if you just want like a part of that package, we could reduce the price, but that's all we can do. Like we can't really um, reduce the price and give you the whole package. We can't give you the whole package and like out of the delays. There is like so much thing that can happen. The best thing that I would recommend you have is fixed prices of you want a project of that. That's how it costs, like how much it costs, and that's it. I think if I go into here, services that I have, for example, if you want or you need like a branding strategy thing and you come to me, it's 5K. There is no question. Like that's the price. You need you need something that is design consulting. It's gonna be 170 per hours that I work on this. Usually we take like 2 hours at a minimum. Um, but that's the price. That's it. If you need a website for Framer, it's gonna be 2K. But that's the usual beginning price. So Framer is going to be starting at 2K. So based on the amount of pages, based on the amount of content, based on so many things, um, it changed, but it's starting at 2K. And like because it's transparent and it's showcased and it's there and people know that these are the prices. Um, like you're not contacting me if you're not willing to at least pay that. It's starting at. It's not starting at 1.8. No. It's starting at 2. So if you have like transparent pricing and a way to showcase like how much you charge for things, better it would be for you. I think that's my main take. There is a newly created contingency where there might be a bit more shaping, lead mentoring roles. It's also interesting. Yes, I agree with that. So a new company would be less monetary, like incentivized. You will probably be paid way less. Um, but you may have like a greater impact in the future of the company. The only thing that I wouldn't say I would advise against, but kinda, is if you start in a company and you are entering as a founder foundational role and you are shaping the company at a very specific salary price, the ability for you to gain more, the more the company is succeeding, it starts to be like kind of capped at some point. Like you will reach a point where company itself will say, well, we can't give you a raise this year. We can't do something as much as we did last year because, whatever, I don't know, reasons. I mean, that's basically what happened for me. I joined the company in a early stage-ish, and I basically, in the first year, I gained like 18%, which was massive for the rest of the company. And then the next year, I made 12% more. And then next year, they were like, there is a 10% raise. And then they were like, here's an 8% raise. And, like it's really decremental, which I understand. Like, it's a lot of money anytime, like you're great, like gaining and growing your salary. But it's just like it's the amount of percentage is lowered every year. So, um, but the other option, and that's, I haven't seen that yet in one of the companies I've worked at, but I have heard that it exists. Um, some companies are good and some companies are paying pretty well and they don't care and they realize that the team that is shaping the company itself, make it run, and need to be compensated sometimes better than the CEO. There is like, I know it's a very, very different business compared to what we are both working on, but there is one that is septic, like septic tank and all of that company that is in the US. And what that boss is doing is he is paid um, equal to the lowest employee of the company. Like his salary matches the lowest paid employee. So basically, that implies that everyone that is hiring, he needs to be comfortable with how much he paid them to ensure that he survive with that new salary that he's giving them. So that's the role that he has set, and that's how he's paying his employees, and everyone is paid fairly, as better than him 99% of the time, because the only one that is paid lower is the new guy that just came in and is in probation, therefore he's taking like a pay cut for the first 3 months. And then when that guy goes out of probation, it bump his salary and the new guy's salary as well, so that they match and have a better cost of living or cost of living train of life at that point. But that exists. In tech, usually not. But we never know. We can see, we can ask, and we can hope for the best. But yes, there is like a bit of an issue with salary growth and long-term evolution in a company that is kind of bad. But also, is it necessary to gain that much money? I don't know. As I always say, above 120K a year, I don't know what to do with it. Like, don't pay me more. I don't need it. Like 120 is basically my max for one person thing. And like above that, I'm like, yeah, I can't, I can't. The taxes, I can't. I mean, I don't care about the taxes, but yeah, like I'm not that much of a greedy motherfucker, so I'm good. But still, some people are. Yeah, that would be good. I think the only option for that is Dubai and Saudi Arabia overall, where you have the same thing, but everything is kind of cheap. The other option is China, where you basically have the cost of living is so low, compared to the salary that you're getting, where basically you can save 50% or up to 50% of your salary every month just because not spending as much. Thing is, in China specifically, you can't really take the currency out. Like there is a limit of how much currency you can put out somewhere else. So as far as I remember, there is like a limit of 50K, 45 euro, 45,000 euros, or 42,000 euros that you can take from the Chinese renminbi, 2 euros per year maximum. Can't go past that. So that. But yeah, have you tried like 4 work weeks? Um, like these ones? Do you remember this? I think we talked about it in the beginning. These exist. They're really good because of you who are interested as well. um, they are pretty good. It's it's interesting to see. The only thing that I hate about it is that most of it is US based, and that's kind of sad. Some of them are worldwide, but remote. I have never had the ability to get like an interview with them. I have applied almost every year to remote, and never even got I think I got an email that said no once. But yeah, um, nonetheless, these are existing apparently right now. There is rumors again from me in Japan uh, of some companies trying to get the 4-day work week in Japan as well, so that people can fuck a bit more and repopulate a bit. But yeah, that's not gonna work. That is not gonna work. We know that. Yeah, I don't think we have any in France though. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm currently in the process with one company, and I'm getting spammed by LinkedIn saying that I would be a good fit for that role that I'm currently um, in the process for, and that basically mean that from the candidates that they have seen so far, me included, not sure, which is kind of sad. Like one of the company that I had before, which was really cool, and there was like a thing um, where I saw the job, I applied to the job, and then the listing got removed, and then I got my interviews and my stuff, and then at the end I needed to go back to France and was in Japan, and then the job got posted back up because they couldn't like do the whole process of visa sponsorship and all that. But the job got posted after that. So basically, they had me and potentially like other candidates, um, and because I couldn't be there, the other candidate couldn't be there. The job got posted again. But there was a period of time where it wasn't there, so that's an interesting thing as well. Um, but yeah, it's annoying. Like the one that I've seen, which was the most annoying one, was uh, just to let you know, we are currently restructuring the financials in the company. So any hiring is on pause. We will probably resume hiring in May. So if you're still looking, you can reapply at this point. But I'm like, really? Like, once you take 30 minutes to have a chat with me and tell me that it's not going to be an option until May, which is today. But no, you couldn't. So, you know, they, but yeah. Nonetheless, if you already have like a um a job offer. That's really good. Congrats. Okay. Congrats. um, can I do that? Can't do that. That doesn't work either. That's so weird. My media key don't work anymore. None of them. Sorry. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I know how it doesn't work, and I know where it breaks sometimes. But yeah. But if you have like that's the thing that I was saying. If you have like a job offer already, and interesting, you just want to stretch it out a bit, but not too much, but kind of see if you can do that, and then potentially go there. I think that's a good idea. Um, like even if it's $20 less a month before tax, that basically means you're technically getting more or potentially equal, like $5 less on a tax basis. So and specifically, as you said, the bonuses seems to be 10 times better. Therefore, maybe do that. Maybe do that. Just sign the thing and then wait for the other ones. Like again, there is nothing that stops you as the candidate to say yes and then say no, there is a better option that pops in. Like that's not allowed. You can say yes, I would love to. And you have your probation period, which is I don't know exactly how it is in the Netherlands. In France, 3 months max, renewable to 6 months, which is crazy. But like the probation period means that the company and the employee can break the contract at any point. And so nothing stops you to say yes here, still do the thing with the other company. And then at the end of the 3 months, if the second company is telling you, that's a good thing, we would like to make you an offer, and you say yes, I will be able to start in 3 months. Still with the first one for 3 months. And then at the end you say, well, I don't think that's gonna work. Then you move to the other one. It's a dirty move, but it works. I mean, I know why you want to leave the current company, right? So have the option to do that. Do that. Or technically, let's just wait. Wait. Everything is enough. Um, I just think that it's personally speaking, if I had a company that I wanted to leave and I applied to another company because I was interested, I just needed money. And they say yes, we would like to make you an offer. They make an offer. The offer is pretty good. I'm gonna say bye to these and say yes here, and that's it. And I'm not even gonna like pursue the rest. Like if I had, from the one that I have, like in the process right now, if one of them was saying, we would like to make you an offer today, for example, I would probably say, perfect. I'm waiting for 2 other companies to reply, and I'll keep you posted. I should be able to give you an answer by the end of the week or by the end of next week, thing like this. Right now, for example, for me, most of the companies that are in Japan, it's Golden Week next week. So no one is working at all. Nothing is going to be done, and I will have no ID until like Monday next week. Not next week, like in 2 weeks. But yeah, like that's basically what I could say. I could say, well, I'm waiting for this company to answer. It's currently Golden Week, so they have like a week of delay, and so I could potentially give you something the 20th of May. and, and if that works for you, that works for me. Uh, but I'm really interested in this company, so I appreciate the offer. The offer looks really good for now. Let me read through it, and then I can potentially give you like a pre-approval thing. And you know, like maybe during the week, like next week, I'm saying, well, can pre-approve that. You can mark me as positive. I can't sign right now. I'm still waiting for that company to answer. I'm trying to get them to do that a bit quicker than expected. But yeah, I'll let you know. That probably could work. Well, but yeah, yeah. If it's okay with them to for you to take like the vacation and because it was planned, and then that means that you will probably chat with the rest of the family, the rest of friends, expand on things, read the offer thoroughly multiple times. You probably already have 6 times, and ensure that everything is on paper. you know, dang. But yeah, I mean that's it's good. It's already really good that they say, well, we are willing to wait because you are a good candidate for this role, and therefore we will just wait for you to be ready and be available for us because we want you to join. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, from my point of view, makes a lot of sense. Um, yeah, yeah, that's a good thing. That is a good thing. Like for example, I had like a meeting some days ago, and the end of the time that we had, one of the designers that was on the call was like, I have a lot more questions, but we don't have more time. So I don't want to like keep everyone in the call. And was like, I mean, I can stay, you can stay if you want. I have time, you have time. We good. And she was like, no, we can't do that. Okay. And then I send them like an email basically an hour after the call and saying, well, at the end, that person had a lot more questions. So if they want to send them in writing, I would be happy to answer them like on paper. And that potentially could work as well. That's a bit more different than your situation right now, but yeah, it's I mean, it is the same. If you have questions, they have answers, or they should have answers, and willing to ask the question before you sign. Makes a lot of sense. Makes so much sense. The thing that bite me in the ass, poked me in the ass, bite me in the ass, had bit me in the I don't know how to say that in the past. Um, took my ass with their teeth was the fact that some of the company that I kind of applied for that are in Japan, and because I have never, I mean, not air quoting, I have never worked for a Japanese company. Um, the other thing that I don't know about in the Japanese workflow and processes and things that just are not how I like to work, which makes sense. I'm not really applying for Japanese companies, but they are like uh, secretive of their activities internally. Basically, what they said was, um, in your explanation, you are saying that you would like chat with the rest of the team to understand how things would work and how you could improve like their processes and all of that. And they were like, that's going to be a bit of a complicated things for the sales, for example, because of the privacy nature of the data that is there. And I was like, bitch, the company wants to succeed and I'm part of the company. Why is the sales in the company that I'm working with doesn't want to share or show me data related to the thing that pays my salary? What the fuck? So yeah, that's uh That's the thing that is a bit more complex, which I understand, but goddamn. Um, like that, I had the presentation and then that chat, and then I was like, well, that kind of throw a wrench in my whole thinking for uh this project. Like it seems kind of more complex than expected because I didn't have like that specific cultural knowledge of the job. And yeah, that's a thing that is good if you are in the country that you're currently working at and you want to stay in that same country and there is no cultural difference in the way that they work. You end up with something that's a bit more workable because, like, goddamn, I mean, the amount of time in France where I just chatted with the team for understanding what were the pain points where they had like issues, how could I help, and it's I just had a chat. And then apparently in some companies, like you can't have a chat with your colleagues if they are not in the same department, if there was not like a business meeting that has been planned 3 weeks in advance at best. So uh, I'm applying like in Japan. I'm applying to companies that are mostly uh, international-ish. Like they either have their headquarters in another country and they have like an office in Japan, or they are Japanese with another office in other parts of the world to be like a bit more international. But yeah, um, it is strict. It's weird. I'm not against it. I just feel like there is um, probably a bit of a phrasing that needs to happen. You know, when you want to access some information, if you phrase it as it would be good for the greater good, the company, for our company, something that is more red. Uh, maybe, phrasing could help. Or maybe if you need something that is a bit more uh, specific to a role and you need to understand how it works, praising them might work. I mean, usual stuff. Um, I've had like discussion with uh, Asian. I think that guy was uh, Taiwanese. I forgot. He told me, but I forgot. But working in Japan from another country, and so they had like a very different vision of work culture, not the work culture in Japan because they were like kind of similar, but what I had in mind and how they view other people in the company, and it felt like uh, because they had a bit more experience or they were a bit older than the rest of the people in the call. They were the leading voice with the most knowledge, which wasn't the case. And when I basically asked like someone else than them for an answer for something that they seemed more qualified to answer, I saw and heard things of, oh no, that person doesn't really know, but I can explain if you want. No, it was really weird, really weird. Uh, it happens. Anyways, right now the other company in Japan or in Asia that was looking for phone manufacturers, like I really would love to work for Oppo or Xiaomi. The thing is, Xiaomi is really Chinese, and I really need to learn Chinese, and it's not an option. And Oppo is also very Chinese. I know that they have like a branch in Germany. Um, that could be an option, but I don't want to learn German either. So, you know, the an annoyance as well. Everything is so broken. Ah. Yeah. other than that, that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, the list of companies that I would love to work in has changed drastically in the past 10 years. Um, there has been things where I was like, it. I think I want to work there for just to have the name on my resume, and that's it. Um, Morton, hi, welcome in. Congrats on first seat. That's impressive. That is impressive. Congrats. Um, yeah, I think I mean, for me as a designer, working for Apple seems like a good option. But the more I looked into Xiaomi and Oppo, the more it was skewed toward the Chinese manufacturers because it made like so much more sense. Um, there is like a ton of things as well that are like maybe I just need to create like a physical product because it's where I'm coming from. Like I've been in uh, design engineering and technical engineering um, for the for school, so I know how to do that. And there are some physical product that I would love to do, but they are also are feasible. Like they are feasible, but it's just the research and development that needs to happen is a pain in the ass, and costs so much upfront to figure out how things could work that I don't know. I don't know. So, eh, lost. You're welcome, Morton. I'm happy that it worked. I don't know if what I did helped in terms of making sure that the seat is there, but yeah, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. Um, you need 52 more seats in order to do what? In order to get over the parliament thing. I forgot exactly how it's organized there. I think it is like a parliament slash hearing slash prime minister thingy system, right? But yeah, in the companies there was like Apple in the beginning, there was Google as well for some reason. Um, Instagram was in there for a bit in the beginning because it seemed pretty good, and then Facebook just fucked up everything again. um, the other ones that popped in were Computer Futures, which were like experimental companies that didn't really exist as companies themselves, like mostly as collective of people that have a shared vision on something and just could work on that here and there, but not really hiring anyone. Um, and then Figma has been in there in the beginning, like when I kind of learned about it, I kind of applied there. Then the first full process that I had to join the company in 2020, maybe 2021, uh, made me not hate the company, but kinda. Um, the fact that they took 2 months of interviews, five things, like five specific interviews, two of them should have been presentation. The fact that they skewed me in a way that wasn't exactly what they were expecting to me. Like basically just it was such a mess. And then the amount of uh, backstab, not really, but kind of fake faces. I don't know how it exists in English. We call that faux cul in French, um, which means fake, I guess. Uh, and basically the hiring manager that was during the whole process saying that he's there for me. Basically, he makes a cut if he hires someone. So he's rooting for me, and he wants me to succeed, and he wants us to keep in touch and all of that. And then I send them a message to know like where they are on the hiring process and all that, and they're like, silence, nothing, not a word, not a reply, not a scene on the message. Like just, oh yeah, let's keep in touch. Like that was really bad. That was Figma overall. So. And then all the fucking grammar that popped in um, lately for the past 2 years is really bad. So yeah. So I went through the Google interview, uh, like the whole YouTube playlist that they have about Google interviews and helping potential candidates to go through, uh, well, some of the interviews processes that they have to see how a person would basically think and come up with a solution. And these are mock interview, which are really interesting. The fun part for me, I don't know if I can find it. I don't think I. You know what? I could. Maybe I don't know. It depends. Um, that's kind of sad. That is kind of sad. I guess I don't think Google is gonna be a search option. I mean, it's been like months now since I did that. You can see what I'm looking at most of the times. There is less titties on YouTube than it is on other platforms, yeah, to be honest. Uh, um, yeah, I mean, if I was in a how can I say that? If I was in a money needing moment, I would, if I had the opportunity to work at Meta, just because I would probably get a big ass fat ass bag for like 3 months and then leave, and be set for a long time after that. But get it, I get it. Uh, this one was like an interesting coding interview where the senior was acting as the candidate, and the not so senior but kind of senior as well was acting as the interviewers, and so they were looking at a process to figure out the binary square, which is the biggest square. So it needs to be like a 1 1 1 1. That's a square. 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. So 3 by 3 or 4 by 4, whatever. And so the process is interesting. And the thing that I liked about like this whole system was what he's explaining about right here is roughly a solution that I had in mind, but there is like a lot of things that are technical that I don't really have in terms of code, that I can't really explain why. But my logic was you start in one point and then you go one. If one is good, you go down one from the initial. If that's good, you go diagonal one. And therefore, after that, the only thing that you need to do is check this one, and this one to make sure that you have like your square, and then these two are the length. I mean, you basically need to go into diagonal to make sure that it works. which can quickly do that, rather than go through the entire thing and hold the data, which is an option as well. But yeah, nonetheless, these things are really interesting to me to kind of get my brain kind of working on something that is a bit different. If you like these, they are fun. I mean, at least for me, they are kind of fun. Thought experiments. It's the same of the one that you probably have heard of plenty of times in the past, which is the 1,000 floor elevator, right? God dang, there is the fucking time again. The thing that is like, how would you design an elevator that needs to go into 1,000 floors, and make sure that it is the most user-friendly experience? And the thing that happened every fucking time for me is the thing that I explained in the previous streams. There is two systems for me that just works, which is system one. I don't have my keys there, but if you have your pass to open the gates at the bottom of the building, your pass should know your floor. So basically, you have this, and you just touch it at the entrance. It calls the elevator for your floor. Done. No issues. Option number two, voice activated. That works. And then now specifically, face recognition is pretty good, specifically with Google. And you could have like a face recognition system that just says, oh, that's that person that lives on X amount of floor. And then they just have like a confirmation button. Just need to say, oh, do you want to go in X number? Yes. Cool. If there is like a friend that needs to come visit you, or a delivery person that is not face recognized by the system, which makes sense. And there is one thing that will happen every time. They need us to ring the bell at the entrance again. And therefore there is like one single flag that has been ringed with that person at the front door. So they need to go in number of flat day. It's that, to me, it's that easy. And then the other option is just having a touch screen rather than buttons, like physical buttons. Just type it in. You know, it's just, I don't know. There is a lot of thinking in there that seems to be more complex than it needs to be, and it makes sense. But yeah, nonetheless, these code-related exercise are really interesting for me because they are not in the domain that I know at all, and therefore they make me think in a way that is design ready rather than dev ready. So I'm thinking visually in something that works, and then the usual explanation of the function, the recursion, the whatever that is used is what I thought would be the solution, but because I didn't know what it is or how it worked, I couldn't. But yeah, that's fun. It's fun for me. I mean, fun. Big words, Yeah. Nice activities, I'd say. Nice activities. Good extent. But it's nice. It's interesting. Nonetheless, good job on getting a job offer that you haven't signed just yet, but you will soon. That's good. And Morton, congrats on getting your first seat. That's also really good. Yeah. Since I've been like working on other things, for the past week, basically, Uh, I haven't touched code since April 24th. Like it's been almost, I mean, it's been a week exactly without any commit, without anything. It it's gonna be kind of complex. The current issue that we have right here is someone bought the app entirely and proceeded to ask for a refund. And because of the way that I've set up the app, they still have access to everything. So now the entirety of the the dictionaries, the entirety of the lives, the entirety of everything is unlocked for them and basically unlocked forever. Is never good. And I need to fix that. I found a way to fix it in a real retroactive way, basically with checking uh, user ID, iCloud ID, transaction history, and refund history, and then pass the two and say, well, if we have a transaction in the refund, then we should revert the authorization that they had. So that's something that I will do. But goddamn, that's it is an annoying thing to put in place. I wish people were not. I wish they were not. But it's the case. That makes no sense. Oh. On a good note, though, since I'm still using the app every day, I am now on my 125 words of Japanese that I know. Pretty impressive. Right? I take the wins when I can. Even though I'm not working on the app in terms of code, I'm still working on the app in terms of testing. And as I said earlier, the syncing work, everything is like thinking properly, or at least when something is not necessarily like thinking properly, we still have the ability to send some content. Obviously, when I'm showcasing something, it just doesn't work. The moment. But yeah, it's pretty good. We have like a good progress. I'm really this close to be done. I feel like I just need that fucking refund section to ensure that I can like refund myself. I mean, not refund myself, but like not refund and leave the access. That's bad. That is bad. I'm thinking about something. Yes, yes, that is something that I needed to talk about. Um, China already have the iPhone 17. I haven't touched on that last week, but we've had like the screens of the iPhone 17 for a good ass week, and it was pretty impressive. Also, um, this happened, and it's pretty fun. If you don't know what it is, that's good. If you know what it is, that's good as well. I'm gonna explain. These are toothbrushes, and so they are vibrating motors, and these uh, are for extracurricular activities, vibrating elements. And yeah, and so everyone in the comments are asking the same thing, and it's kind of fun. But yeah, These are pretty cool. And this is Xiaomi in the background. Like Mija is the company that's from Xiaomi as well for home improvement and home stuff. It's pretty cute to know that they have these. It can probably run Doom. I don't think someone has run it on it, mainly because it is a touch-based screen. So you would have the swipe for navigation and click to shoot. That would be my main recommendation. It is feasible for sure, but it's not necessarily like the easiest to run. It probably can run. I mean, it's plugged and connected with my phone. I know exactly when I brushed well, when I didn't brush well, what are the teeth that are missing, some activities, all of that. So it can run for sure, for sure. I'm looking for a thing that is very specific right now, obviously, because I'm looking for a thing that is very specific. I can't find it. Yeah, damn. Always, always. Um, I mean, I didn't really talk about these ones before, but I kind of did. Um, these are really impressive and interesting. These are presentation portfolio of people, not necessarily specific people, but like people in general. And they have like these video presentation of, I think, their websites or the PDF portfolio of said people. Everything that I'm seeing here is so close to everything that we recommend to not do here in France. Similar in the US, but I don't know enough in that department. But for most of the things that are presented here, it seems like unthinkable for a French designer to do the exact same thing. And not all of them are the same, but all of them are using like very interesting processes, patterns for the portfolio, which, going back to some of the things that I've said in the past, this is the reason why I'm interested in other like countries, platforms, and landing pages and websites and portfolios and behaviors specifically for designers, because that way I can know that these are the norms for China, for example, right now, because we're looking at China. And it gives me some more interesting elements, some things that are not necessarily available here just yet, but I could put in place to make my current design stand out before it becomes like a common thing. All the micro animations we are seeing are common, but the visuals that we have here, not necessarily. Kind of fun. What on it? Specifically, like the one in reds, and right other ones, they have like a ton of things that are interesting. Like this one is more Portuguese or from Brazil. I don't know exactly, but interesting content, you know. Um, these to see. That's a good inspiration. I would say that's what I will say. If you are looking for alternative inspiration, other websites, other countries, other things are going to help a lot. When I was looking at Behance extensively in 2015, 2016, I was really looking at Ukrainian, Kazakhstan, like Eastern Europe websites and content because they are really good, like Australian. And the design that I've seen in that period is the type of design that I'm seeing now. And because currently we are seeing like a bit of a resurgence of China for most of the things, um, it is interesting to get a bit of a hint of how the current state of Chinese design exists and how they use things and what are the patterns that they are using, what are the patterns or the behaviors that they have, the content that they want to showcase, and so on to understand potentially future portfolio later a bit better. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Um, was you were reading protocols for trading system. That is interesting. Trading system as in stock trading or trading system as in something different? It's Zidov. That's the also high. That's Xiangshu. Xiangshu is the Chinese version of Instagram and Pinterest together. And specifically this profile here is one that is related to portfolios and design. Um, which I don't know if you can access them. I have doubts. You need to log in, and if you don't have a way to access like a Chinese account, you might have a bit of a problem. Yes. Kinda. Yes, I think the only one that gives you a bit of a fake cash is these bitches, which I don't like, and I don't know if they still do. But I think they had like a bit of a system where you could get like uh, $1,000 to see how the process works, and it's fake money. You can just invest and follow the docs and the things, but yeah, it's not necessarily for this for the devs. But that's not really good for you. Like, yeah, it's not what we need. No, I don't. I don't. That's the most AI generated face I've ever seen. God damn. It's crazy. Um, get it? I get it. But it's interesting that this one isn't. Uh, but yeah, there used to be like a test option. You've been using them for some times. Interesting. No, I'm using Trade Republic instead. Um, for my investments. If you want, you can join the Discord and go into the referral page and and click on that link. And get yourself a bit of a referral. I think you get like $10 and I get $10. It's really good. One of the reasons why I like it is because I've been designed. I'm not gonna lie, I have been designed hard on this one. It's good. It's good. The only thing that I don't like about it is the fact that it's a German-based company, and the person that is doing the TikTok, uh, that guy here is very French. Like in terms of the accent, I don't know if it's like Swiss French or French. I think he's like French because he speaks French at times. And that's the only thing that I don't like about the content. It's just like it's really French. That's bad. But yeah, no. On other than that, it is a really good Really good platform, really nice. It doesn't have all of the stocks, but it's, you know, if you want to invest in stuff, it's good. However, however, all of my savings that were in there went negative 3 weeks ago for reasons that if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. It's fine. Like if you look at my charts, it just goes up, 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 straight down, and then we went to negative 2008. Fun times. Fun times. It's going back up, but goddamn. So yeah, that's all I can give you. If you're specifically talking about like getting access to um, trading servers or checkers or APIs or things that still need this money to work with, not really helping much more than that. Perfect. Can I find the thing, please? Apparently I can't. Apparently I can't. I mean, this one was really good as well. Same thing. That's something that I wouldn't really have known until I went back to Japan. But also we have some titties on the side. You can't see that. And the Japanese navigation system has been revamped, and so we are going from this to this, which is really interesting. So they are going from a backlit system to a front-lit system, which I think means, or the goal for this is, in cases where the power would go down, these would be almost unreadable, but these would still be readable if you like put a light on it with like a flashlight or something. And I think that's the main point. They really have changed a lot of things in terms of readability and all that. And they also have added these corner elements, which I don't know feels interesting, but also really nice. But yeah, that's the thing that I wouldn't have been aware of unless I had been in Japan. And the only reason why I know that it exists is because I'm on this Chinese app. This is referencing a ton of things, including a ton of design related stuff. And this one is specifically for signage. It's really nice to get some inspiration from other things. But you know, taking a look at stuff is nice. I just scroll like 1 second. I did not even. I need to know what that is. It looks like apricots, but it's green. I don't know what that is. I need to know. Like they have king grapes and strawberries and something that looks like green apricots, which is really interesting. You don't list it in here, which is interesting, but not unripe strawberries. These are the white strawberries. They are really, really good. They're different. I mean, they have a similar flavor profile, but it's a bit more sweet, which seems weird because they're white. But yeah, no, it's really good. Yeah, really good. That's a pair of cheeks. uh, I'll find the things. Right there. Let me show you. I can show you these. These are the not non-edited cheek. Second. Mm-hmm. What is this? Mm. Same. This is the thing that I was looking for. These apparently are the renders and test device that has been available in China for making the cases and the device mold and all that. And this might be the iPhone 17 Air that we are about to receive in the soon department. And I hate it. I hate it. I would say the iPad Air, seemingly, not Air, the iPad Pro, like the new one, the very thin one, seems to have been extremely resistant to bends, a bit better than we expected it to be. So I think that this is gonna be like any different, but we never know. But yeah, that's the thing we have right now. And one person, that's not really the post that I can find, but one person asked, why do we have like that glass that takes the whole thing? And one of the replies that was because the Face ID needs the camera bump internally to get like more space for like the back camera and the front camera. They needed to have like a bit of an island is for these two components, which seems to be one of the most probable reason. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, the announcement is supposed to be in November. I don't know. I never know when it is. But if I can find the thing though, because I lost there. I am kind of lost. Yeah, nope. I can't find the thing. Goddamn. Yep, nope, can't find it. God damn it. Dumbass. Oh, goddamn. That hurts. Ugh. More than expected. Got like a Shouldn't hurt. Like a heart attack, hurt kind of thing. Neat. I don't know what you're working on, Sony. Yeah. I mean, I guess that much. Ah. Yeah. Oh, God damn. Oh, I'm so tired. Waking up at 4:50 wasn't a good idea. But it's good for the views. Would be good for the views. Think about it. I think one of you would be able to send an ambulance here, maybe. And that person would be cat, potentially. But yeah, that's about it. I would be dead. See it happen. Yeah. Woke up at 4 a.m. for no reason. I mean, for reasons, but for no reasons. No. There is already one. I'm questioning your ability to know exactly where I am and which floor I am at. This cat has been here before. That's the only person that can do that. So, yeah. That's the reason. That is the reason. Nonetheless, I don't know. That's a good point. I don't know. I can't do that. Ooh. My blinds are closed all day. All day. All day closed. No one see anything. I was about to say I am taking on the update of the Android app probably this weekend. The same thing for the iOS app to see if I can like publish something Monday to make sure that the navigation bar at the bottom of the screen for Androids don't go past the native navigation buttons, which is the case with some people, which is really bad. And we talked about that on, so if it was on somewhere here, or if it was somewhere there, I don't remember. I don't know. Somewhere in the Discord, there was something. But yeah. Chris, hi, welcome in. How do you know updates with your app? Well, I make the code, or I ask the AI to make the code, and then when that's done and it's working and it doesn't break, I send it for review to Apple, and then they review the thing, and then they validate or not. If they do, it's published to anyone. And for Android, there is no validation, so I just take the code that I have, I send it to the Google Play console, which is the little dashboard thingy. And then from there, I just send a new version and publish it. And it's published immediately, which is really good because I don't need to like wait for text. It's there if I want like a new version to be sent today, for example, right now. certain it would be updated like the next 20 minutes. So it's better than Apple for that reason. Like, for example, if I realize that I did something and it's a broken version, like it's just send you into a boot loop and you can't really do anything. It would just be fixed in one update, whereas Apple, it happened many times where I published a version and then I realized that I forgot something in the version that I sent and I needed to send a new version, and that took like one more day, 1.5 days to be checked and validated. So yeah. We have less users on Android than before. That's so sad. We've reached 112 users on Android, which is really cool. But we now have 74 active users instead of 83 at the beginning of the month, which is really bad. I'm losing users. I need to add some features on the Android version. But yeah, so I'm probably going to fix the Android version, probably going to fix the iOS version as soon as I can this weekend, so that I can have something that works. And I may have a surprise on Monday. I don't know. I don't think so, but we never know. Could happen. Yeah. Dang. What do you mean, dang? No. Oh shit. Oh. Sorry, I'm dying. Literally dying. What's up? Why am I so dead? Crazy. It is crazy. But yeah, that's the plan for the weekend, I think, unless I unless I don't figure out something else that's gonna be weird. I've been like on a like bike stress for the past week, which is really bad. And yeah, that happens. I don't like it. I don't have a choice though, but god dang, it's bad. It is bad. It does it work? Good. Oh shit. Drink! You know what? I think with the new upload/cursor GitHub integration and their ability to get massive context from you by having that integration with your repo, I could be able to create something from my Mac using Cursor to get like server app on my side working. I just don't know how to do the backend stuff. It's the sad part and the thing that you need the most. But yeah, I'm not saying I will, nor will I try, but you know, I could potentially, maybe, I don't know. Huge stuff. I'm so dead. Holy shit. God. I've been up for 16 hours. I would highly recommend that though. No, I don't store shit on server. The only thing that I have right now, for myself is CloudKit Sync that I've just implemented um, last month, and it stores user data on the cloud, but that's about it. Nothing more than that. So yeah. And Stony, I know that it's you don't want to, but you know, best option, eBay. Go there and you find yourself like a Mac Mini M1, potentially one of the older version. Uh, Not even refurbished, like maybe just a simple someone that bought like the new one and they want to resell their old one type of situation. Um, could be a good option. Could be a good option. I don't know if we have any of the mini on on here. We do. Yeah, 319 directly from Apple. Not that it matters, but you know. I'd go with that, to be honest. If I didn't need like something that is a bit more portable, with the MacBook Pro, I would go with one of these because that's all I need. Even that, um, like that's pretty good. The thing that I heard, which you know I didn't hear much. The thing that I heard is that the Mini, the new Mini with the M4 chip inside, doesn't really have enough power to power the stream, compared to the one that I have now in terms of GPU powers. I'm still already struggling at times, but overall, like the Mac Mini M4 is not good enough, and so I would need to go with like the Mac Studio um, Ultra chip. Oh, that's interesting. To get something that is similar in terms of, or a bit better than what I currently have. I wanted like a small form factor, and that is already too much. So no, that's not going to happen. Yeah, I think you would see like a non-significant bump, but yeah, I think. Oh. I think it would be a non-significant bump, and that's the thing. That makes no sense at all. Oh yeah, you should get one of the hubs that I have. I mean, I love mine. It's too expensive, but yeah, there is like so many new hubs. Specifically, there is the Underdock, the one that is bringing uh more ventilation and you know more fan. It's pretty good. Uh, yeah, yeah, I could see that. Welcome back. Pretty angry at all. How are you? How have you been? It's been a while. How's it been? Been a lot. It's been a long time. When was the last time you was here? God damn. Last time was January 2024. God damn. That's a long time. Yeah, since then the hair has grown, for sure. For sure. Uh I mean, you basically came back in January 2023, January 2024. That's kind of crazy that it is uh, almost the same time every time. That's crazy. Um, appreciate it. Appreciate it. Hair has grown a tad for reasons. Oh shit. Oh. And now I'm dying. I mean, I was dying before, but like I'm now dying more. Um, you know, yeah. I mean, I appreciate that you're still coming back. That's really fun to see you again. As someone mentioned earlier, um, the bits badge are still designated to you. So yeah, have a good rest of your day. Everyone, take care of yourself. We'll see you soon. See you soon. Oh, why am I so dying? Oh, dude. Oh. I was currently looking for someone to raid, to be honest, because I am yawning so much, which is really bad. And god damn, I need to sleep. Again, I've been up 16 hours. And I started my day with the gym. And now it's bad. I'm dead. Yeah, that's crazy. Holy shit. Oh. Ah. I was about to say Jackie's live, which is pretty cool. But also Maya's live. I guess Maya's gonna be better. I mean, better. Better option. Um ah. Do astronaut modes. You are reaching like a limit. Just slow down. Slow down. Like one pull-up that takes 15 seconds is building way more muscles than a pull-up that takes like 3 seconds. So you just have weights and you do curls and you do things. You can just go slow. It will help. It's basically creating like the time and attention situation to grow a bit more, if that's your goal. Otherwise, calisthenic is really good. Um, yeah, it's good though. I'm more for efficient type of gym activities. Like I want to know that if one day I'm in a situation where I'm about to fall from a bridge, I don't know, I can lift me up. Someone fell from a bridge, I can lift them up. Like efficient on the instant rather than just lift heavy things once and then just not really if like able to do anything. But yeah. Yeah. And I'm saying bridge as an example, but like, you know, an accident happened, someone is under a car, pull them out. That type of situation. Things that are not supposed to happen, but that you don't like break your spine or something. Uh, congrats. I mean, congrats if that was on purpose. That is pretty good. That is pretty good. I think I gained probably 10. This last year. Not too much fat, but still kind of. I think going through phases of cutting and bulking is debatable. Debatable. It works, but it's debatable. I don't know. You see, hey, that makes sense. Nothing to say there. Like that makes a lot of sense. Holy shit. Oh, God. I'm dying. Alright, I'm gonna send you to Maya. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. God damn, I am so dead. As always, thanks for being here. Highly appreciate it. If you want access to the VOD for some reason, you want to watch it again, it's gonna be on YouTube. Alongside like the Figma Bootcamp, which always early access and Patreon with more data and more stuff. And then if you have questions on live, you know the drill. You go on Discord. It's going to be the easiest thing. The other one is going to be here. I shall be back on Monday. Again, with a potential surprise. I don't know. It's a very potential. I have no clue just yet. We'll see. But yeah, that happens. And if you want to learn Japanese, you should use that because it's pretty cool. And if you want to give me some money, you can sub here or buy YK. It's a nice thing as well, you know. Unbiased opinion. No clue why I'm saying this. But yeah, nonetheless, Heroin just won and now he's not there. Stony, you are so far away. 57 is crazy. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your day. Eat something, drink something, be kind to each other. Enjoy the raid, and I'll see you soon. Bye.